based on what I've been told, okay, and this is some of it's come from Sergio, who's very optimistic, but also from the doctors who say he's ahead of schedule. He's really recovering very quickly, which is really encouraging. But that's why we want to make sure we get him here, have all the doctors kind of compare notes with the people down in Dallas and just see exactly where he's at. From a football perspective, we're not allowed to see him at all. So he's not under contract. My understanding is, we've talked to the league about this. Ozzy's worked this out. There are certain rules in place. We won't be able to see him here at the facility, but he'll be meeting with neurologists, and they'll get a chance to evaluate him for 2 or 3 days at the facility, hospital facility, and then we'll just be looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Well, Jason, we really liked him coming out, and I think he had the whole season where he trained and he was in meetings and things like that, and there was a little bit of probably in training camp knocking the rust off a little bit, because he hadn't played for a while. But I would say the last week he's really come on. He's played well in both preseason games, and he's making a real run at it right now. He's looked good. Played so well. I think he gained a lot of confidence. And he took that confidence and he's just taken off from there. He really learns from Ed. I think Ed has taken Tom under his wing, and has taught him a lot of the tricks of the trade that that Ed does differently probably than every other safety in the league. And Zibby's never going to be Ed Reed, but he's going to be Zibby. He's going to be his own guy, and yet he's learned so much from Ed. And I think it's a credit to Ed that he's done as well as he has. Plus, Chuck Pagano's done a great job with him. You'd rather use a backup, no question. I mean, we used to always discuss Brian Westbrook in Philadelphia, and when he returned it, he usually made big plays, and you had a great talent in space making plays. So, how often you get a great player in space, offensively or defensively? Not that often. That's why you put an Ed Reed back there every now and then. By the same token, you don't want to risk an injury with a guy like that. So, if you're talking about Lardarius Webb, I think at some point in time in the future he could be a returner again, depending on what his role is on defense and what other guys we have kind of in the mix, but certainly not early. And I really don't think so this year, just coming off an ACL. Now, he'll be a backup if we have to put him out there, but we've got Jalen Parmalee. We've got some other candidates. I think we're going to be very cautious with Lardarius that way. He loves to play. Not to say you wouldn't see him out there at corner on punt return, later in the year, or even at gunner or something like that, possibly if we had, we're trying to win games. But we're going to err on the side of making sure he stays, that we don't put him at undue risk.